So she arrived in Lisbon with her monsters and they've been unleashed. We're going to talk Saara Aalto and Finland. So Jess, another one of the performances that people have been talking about, not sure what to expect from Saara, but we knew it was probably going to be something quite crazy.
Yes.
We heard yesterday, I think, about the dress with the 11,000
Swarovski crystals.
Swarovski crystals. I can't say it. Swarovski crystal. And I have to say, I thought she looked stunning in her dress.
So
actually.
did I.
It's quite simple. I was expecting something really out there. Nice black with, I think, some kind of silver or white detailing. Quite short, I think, from what I can remember.
Yeah.
However, the focus wasn't on her dress because it was on this creation that they've got in the middle of the stage. She starts off kind of facing the back of the stage, I think, and she's spinning round on this wheel, and then the dancers take her off the wheel. Vocally, Jess, what are your thoughts on the performance?
Vocally, I thought she was good, not great, but I think that she was kind of holding back and saving her voice because I think the song is quite demanding and there's a lot of high notes. But I think she gave, for a first rehearsal, I think her vocals were good. But I feel like for the actual semi-final, I do believe that she will give it even more vocal-wise, definitely.
Yeah. I do think she was holding back. She sounded like she was straining on some of the high notes, but it became more apparent the further through the run-throughs that we got.
Yeah.
So I do think she's saving, because we know that she can perform vocally and she can hit those notes. I think the only concern with a song like this is she's obviously moving around a lot, and how that's going to impact the vocal. But we didn't really see that today, which is a positive sign. One thing I have to give her props for is actually her choreography, which I think is really good. She's got some great hand movements, which I can't do, but that looked really polished and slick on stage.
Yeah.
There was a bit of a technical issue with the dancers in one of the run-throughs getting her off the wheel. I don't think they could get her off the wheel very easily. And then at the end, we can do another spoiler, but she kind of comes off the platform and the dancers catch her. We pray that they catch her on the night of the semi-final. But it got a huge round of applause.
It did.
In the press centre. This is a song that's been garnering a lot of fans.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of hype over this since Saara was announced as Finland's representative. Whether or not it will qualify, now this is probably where I'm going to disappoint some people. I think the song is good, Saara's performance is good, the vocals are good, but it's quite over the top. And my concern is it will only appeal to a particular section of the audience, rather than the wider audience itself. I mean, Saara's stage shows are always, over the top and glitzy and fun and energetic. So we wouldn't expect anything less from her. But what are your thoughts on Qualification?
I mean, I guess, I do agree with you to a certain extent that the performance is quite over the top. But I think that's going to help them to stand out. And I think, yes, there may be some people watching that just wouldn't find any appeal in it at all. But then there's going to be a lot of people, I think, that will. And I also think that, that it's something people are going to remember.
Oh, definitely. You can't forget a performance like this.
Exactly. And, if people sort of remember back to UMK in Finland a few months ago, she's got the big wheel spinning on it like she did in one of her other songs. And that's obviously something very different that people are not going to expect. So I feel confident that she'll qualify, but I'm just unsure on how she'll place in the final. I'm not sure if it's enough to make the top 10 or if she'll kind of finish mid-table. But I think for sure she's a qualifier.
Yeah, for me it's one of those songs that it's hard to call. As we know, this semi is very, very tough. We've seen more great rehearsals today, so it's becoming harder and harder to call. The only other critique that I would have on this song is maybe the backing vocalist, and what works really well in the studio version is the kind of children's voices when they're singing about the monsters. They haven't quite got that with the vocalist they've got on stage. It sounds too high pitched, so hopefully they can work to adjust those voices.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they're trying too hard to mimic what's in the studio version.
Yeah.
And I think for such a kind of sound and such a voice, it's quite difficult. But other than that, the backing vocals are really good, I think.
Okay.
It's just those kind of noise, those childlike sounds that I think they need to work on.
Well, guys, you've probably checked out the clip already, so let us know in the comments what you think, whether Saara is going to qualify through to the final this year. How do you think she will place? Let us know. Otherwise, until next time, see ya.
Bye.